Sagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pradhan Sagana Gadita Shri Vishakha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamine Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusita Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today is the second part of our series, and our today's topic is the emotional barrier. How to deal with emotional barriers in our relationships. So what happens, especially when it comes to relationship, be it husband, wife, be it children and parents, or friends, relatives, we have a tendency to think that every relation should be an ideal relation, and that the definition of ideal relation is taken from the movies, which is fiction, which is like a fairy tale. And we base our relationship on that fiction. So that is the problem, what we are facing. Until unless we bring our relationship to a reality, things will not work. Now, relationship, if you want to learn, there's so much in Mahabharata, there's so much in Bhagavatam, there's so much in Ramayana to learn about relationship. What is happening in today's world, a lot of informal relation, or I would say casualness within a relationship. Okay, audio is very low. So what happens is every relationship be based on a hypothetical situation, and the expectations are unreal. So say two relationships, two people having relationships, a husband, wife, or two brothers. What happens? We tend to become so casual that we cannot even respect other person. Yes, every relationship there should be a friendship. In every relationship there should be a friendship, there should be love, there should be some affection, but also there should be respect. Now, affection may be there, but we have seen respect has gone. If two people will not respect each other, the relationship will be very short-lived. It will not be a long-lasting relationship. It will be a short-lived relationship. The reality is, no relationship in this world is a perfect relationship. Because of that, we expect too much from the other person, because we think relationship is perfect. Another thing we'll talk about, we discussed last time about the dynamics of relationship, that how relationship is a dynamic instead of being a static equation. Now, we see examples, and the most amazing example about relationship comes is Draupadi and 5 Pandav brothers. How is it possible, one wife and 5 husbands, and still they don't have a relationship problem? It's so amazing that they don't have any problem. Neither these 5 brothers have problem within themselves, neither they have problem with the wife. So, how is it working? Because they all, 6 of them, are living in a reality, not in a dreamy situation. So their expectations from the partner are real and not hypothetical. Communication. So how do you make a relationship real and not hypothetical? First of all, there should be some norms. When Arjuna won Draupadi in Swayamvar, and Arjuna brought Draupadi, and also 4 brothers came along. So they all came, and you know that Kunti said, all of you should divide. Arjuna didn't say that we have brought, Draupadi. He said, we have won something wonderful for you. So then she said that you distribute amongst yourselves. And how is it possible? And then Vyasadeva came and he said, no, there's history, and Draupadi has to become wife of 5 husbands. So that's all right. Very strange. So when Pandavas and Draupadi, they met Krishna, and Krishna's 16,108 queens in Kurukshetra, not in Kurukshetra, at the time of solar eclipse. So all these 16,108 queens, they are inquiring from Draupadi that how is it you, one lady, is able to manage 5 husbands where we are 16,108 queens. We are not even able to manage one husband. We are not able to please him. So there's an interaction. Anyway, that's it separate. So then Narad Muni comes. Now it is decided that Draupadi is married to all 5 of them. So Narad Muni comes and he tells Yudhishthir, so what are the norms you are setting? And Yudhishthir, why do we need norms? We 5 brothers, we have so much love and bonding with each other. Draupadi will, gel with each one of us without disturbing the relationship. Narad Muni says, well, That's a good thing if that happens. But what if it doesn't happen? There are chances where you 5 brothers may fight amongst, each other and eventually lose everything. So then he tells a story of 2 brothers, 2 demon brothers, Kumbha and Nikumbha. So Narad Muni talks about this. He is Kumbha and Nikumbha were brothers, they were demons and very powerful, extremely powerful. And nobody could kill them except they kill each other. So then Narad Muni tells them that they would not kill each other because they love each other so much. The bonding is very thick. But then demigods, they prayed to Brahma, and in turn they prayed to Lord Vishnu that please protect. Do something about these Kumbha and Nikumbha. So then it was arranged. Vishnu takes a female form and he kinds of entice in the female form. She entices both the brothers. And both the brothers at the same time wanted this lady. It's really difficult. It's not a new thing. This is the very old story based on which all our Bollywood movies are made. This love triangle. 1 heroine, 2 heroes, or 1 hero, 2 heroines. It's all love triangle shown in our Bollywood movies. It's all coming from Vedic literatures. So finally, because she had come for a purpose, so she said, okay, I will marry a man. I will marry one of you. I also like both of you, but I can marry one of you. Whoever will win, you both have to fight. Whoever will win, I'll marry. I'll be his. And they started fighting with each other with so much of anger that eventually they both killed each other. So that is Narad Muni's, teachings to Yudhishthira, and then they form a norm. Otherwise, the relationship is very artificial. Now, what is happening? Earlier, there were families, joint families. Say 12, 15 members, 20 members. I have 30 members. I've heard sometimes 50 members. 50 is like way old, maybe 30, 40 years ago. But at least 10, 12 members. Now you don't get such families because of the job, because of the business, because of so many other reasons. People shift and they buy a new house. The family, the size is shrinking. So if there's a big family, then the dynamics is different. The joint family, the dynamics is different. Now more nuclear families, husband, wife, maybe 1 or 2 kids. That's all. That's happening in the world. So then it's like, if only husband, wife and 1 kid or 2 kids are living, everyone is on a watch. Because you don't have many people to interact with. So everything you expect from 1 person. If there is a man who has a wife, who has sister-in-law, who has a sister, who has a mother, and who has maybe 1 or 2 aunts, chachi. So then he has so many women who can, give facility, kind of food, everything. Things are taken care of now. And now only, and so many people also men to earn money. Now the pressure is on one person. So expectations become very high. So all the time you have to deliver. That's difficult. And then we see in movies that this is how relationships should be. And we think that yes, this is how relationship. That doesn't work. Movies are showing hypothetical situation, imaginary situation. That's not the reality. Reality is what? How do we deal? So the first element for the relationship, and especially to remove that emotional barrier in the relationship, is clear, transparent communication. The communication has to be extremely transparent, crystal clear as this. Okay. And the premise or the foundation is not too much of expectation from the partner. I mean, you can't expect, a wife cannot expect husband to be like a Superman or something like that. And husband should not expect wife to be Superwoman or some, some angel or something. They have their own personalities, some brighter side, some not so brighter side. Everyone has. So let us expect. I'm not a perfect man. So why should I expect my wife to be perfect? And if I'm not a perfect wife, why should I expect my husband to be perfect? Husband, wife, though somehow, okay, they manage. But both husband, wives, both husband and wife, they expect their son or daughter to be absolutely perfect, which leads to too much of pressure. And this is where the relationship, the dynamics changes. Why do you expect, as a woman, why do you expect husband to be perfect? As a man, why do you expect wife to be perfect? As parents, why do you expect your kids to be perfect? It leads to so much of problem. Why? Because you put so much of emotional pressure on the other person. No, my child should be like this. He should be topper. He should be a good devotee. He should be this. No, he has his own karma. He or she, child has, his or her own karma. Husband has his own karma. Wife has his own karma. First of all, please try to understand we are living in a family structure which is nuclear. So, take an example. Let us talk about the expectation. Once that is clear, communication will be easy. I am living in a house where there are 20 members. Imagine a situation, 20 members. Now I have my own karma, the baggage of karma, which is coming from past life, good and bad both. And so the reaction of my karma will be given to me. So suppose tomorrow, 6th, today is 5th, yes. Tomorrow, 6th of June, Monday, I am supposed to receive in whole day, say 3 gulab jamuns. Okay. And I'm supposed to get some chastisement. Someone be very angry on me and chastise me. Okay. Also, I'm supposed to get a very good, wholesome meal in the lunch. I'm also supposed to get some discomfort with someone, too much argumentation with someone. Now imagine if there are 20 people. Anyone can, Krishna can make, this is how karmic reaction comes. Anyone can become instrument. So either one person will give me 3 gulab jamuns or 3 people will give me 3 gulab jamuns differently. So whoever will give me gulab jamun is a good person because he's giving me. One who supports my enjoyment is my friend. One who does not support and opposes my enjoyment is my enemy. That's how friends and enemies are made in this world. And that's why it says there's no permanent friends or enemies in the world. So then I got gulab jamun. Now I'm supposed to get some chastisement, some heavy. So someone senior in my family out of 20 will give me. Okay, now I'll just, bad man. But it's okay. There are other people with whom I can interact. Okay, I'll not talk to this person for 2 days. Then with some equal or some junior, I will have, in the evening, I will have a lot of argument. So different people are giving me different karmic reactions. And things are taken care. Now imagine a situation only husband and wife are living together. Husband has to receive 3 gulab jamuns. Who will give? Wife will give. Husband is supposed to receive a lot of unnecessarily heated up arguments. Who will give? Wife will give. Wife is supposed to get some karmic reaction. Who will give? Husband will give. So 24 hours they are together. They give each other karmic reactions. And that makes the situation very unpleasant. Because we think, husband is thinking, wife is the cause of my distress. And wife is thinking, same thing for the husband. So the reality is something else. It's not husband, it's not wife, it is my own karmic reaction. So suppose if I'm not married, does that mean that I'm having, happy life? Absolutely happy? Nobody can be absolutely happy in this material world. Smooth life? No, I'm sitting with some devotees at devotees' place. So when I was coming from temple, I got so much traffic. So the karmic reactions has to come. So I'm staying with other brahmacharis. They'll give me the reactions. I'll preach, then I'll get something. Sometimes you preach to audience and they get into, heated argument with you. So that's karmic reaction. But when the family is very small, 2 or 3 people, then whatever we get, we tend to label, we tend to judge the person. And that is why husband, wife, very easily these days, they go to court. Very easy. Earlier, it was not like that. So then, we have to first of all understand the reality. This premise should be clear. Based on this, now we communicate. So the first element which should come in picture to remove these emotional barriers is communication. I'll tell you, I've seen so many people, and you would have seen, and you would have witnessed within yourself also. Whenever there is emotional turmoil, whatever you speak, that's illogical. It's not logical. So if you have a fight with someone or argument with someone, sometimes it's logical, sometimes if you take it emotionally, then everything you speak is illogical because somehow or the other you want to win over other person. That's emotions. That's not logical. You're driving a car on the highway. You're going from Bombay to say Surat on the highway. There's a bunch of some young people. They drive the car. They're also driving. They're coming from behind, and they, drive past, overtake you, speed, without giving any horn or something. And if you think, okay, let them go. So you will be peaceful. But if you think, no, how can they do that? I'll show them how I can drive. And then you also. And it's kind of road rage, which leads to destruction. Maybe for the both. Maybe for both the parties. So that is emotional. So any relationship, whatever happens, do not take it to heart, first of all. Don't involve your emotions. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult. And especially, please hear with attention and patience and courage. Krishna has designed this world in such a way that then you kind of get fed up and then focus on chanting and focus on bhakti. Now what Krishna has done, see, relationship between man and woman. That's mainly relationship man and woman, husband, wife. Other relations, what happens, brother will go, one brother is going to US, one has gone to Australia, one has gone to Antarctica, one has gone to North Pole. Everyone has their own life. Father, mother, they get some money. Things are, but husband and wife have to stay together. Huh? Now what has happened? Men are more rational. Women are more emotional. Nobody is less or more. If you see from a point of view of a child needs both mother and father for development. And a husband needs emotional support, which wife will give. And wife needs, some logical, rational, intellectual support, which a husband gives. So that is how they make a couple. That's how Krishna is created. If both are same, they'll fight. Sometimes what is happening, it's like instead of husband and wife in the house, there are two husbands. There are two wives. What does it mean? Sometimes the woman becomes so much rational, so logical, that emotions take a back seat. The man is also, husband is also rational, wife is also rational, so they both have then difficult. Woman is emotional. Imagine a husband becomes emotional. Sometimes men are becoming too emotional. Nowadays we are seeing, we're witnessing, men are too emotional. So that is how, logical and emotional, they are two different platforms. So what will happen? If you do not understand the other person, which was earlier, now nobody is ready to understand the other person. It's too much of selfishness. Wife will tell the husband, you do not understand me. And husband will say, you do not understand me. So nobody is trying to understand the other person. They want other person to understand them. So these are all foundations. And then based on that communication. Suppose husband or wife is emotionally afflicted. Take an example. I'm just thinking of some hypothetical situation. Wife is cooking and she's cooking some parathas. And this, what do you call chila, that you have to cook immediately and put it on the plate so that husband can get good crispy hot chilas. My wife is cooking further. So now kitchen and room, some distance, and she's like, she wants to give perfect service because she loves husband. She wants to give perfect chila to the husband. Her husband is sitting watching TV. Now it's becoming cold. So the wife will become angry. Because as a wife, I want to serve you. I will become happy if I serve you. So you eat now. Leave your mobile phone, leave TV, leave your newspaper. But that fellow is not interested. He's more interested in news. So some friction builds up. Okay, husband is eating, and then wife comes, and that non-stick pan. Non-stick pan is there. So then she immediately brings and puts the chila on the plate of husband. Now, it's non-stick. When you just pass on, so this goes out of the plate. The husband, what kind of service is this? Is this the way to serve husband? Is this what your father has taught you? So he may not say, but he will think. So you see a little bit of things, how complication. And then these things are building up in the heart of husband, in the heart of wife. These little small things, they build up, they become big. Very difficult. So that is why communication is required. You communicate. Every person should communicate and clarify. If you do not, most of the time, we do not communicate. Now there's another such communication barriers, which we are not covering today, but most of the time communication doesn't happen because I think it's okay. He will understand. My friend will understand. I don't need to communicate. But he is not understanding. And even if he is understanding, he thinks that I should go and communicate. So timely communication and clear communication and complete communication is required. So then two people can break this emotional barrier in the relationship. Another thing. Second, do not react, but respond. Do not react means if husband is frustrated because of his boss in the office, he is like, completely emotional. There is turbulence within his system, and he comes home and like he's throwing his bag, he throws off his shoes, and so wife should understand, yes, something has happened. It is best if husband before entering the house sends one text message to the wife. Today was a very frustrating day. I'm really not in a normal, mode of goodness. I'm afflicted emotionally. So then wife should be clear. Yes. Then even if he's behaving in a way which he generally doesn't behave, wife should accept. Okay. Tolerate. Like a doctor tolerates a patient. Sometimes patients, they will not allow the doctor to operate on their body. And that is where this anesthesia comes. So then husband, wife, or two people who are in a relationship, they have to understand each other with patience. So if one person is afflicted and he is venting out his emotions, especially negative emotions, the other person should be tolerant, should keep quiet, should accept. That is what is called respond. Sometimes wife may be agitated emotionally. The husband has to just respond, keep quiet. If both get afflicted, then not a good situation for a relationship. So don't react, but respond. Respond means you be in mode of goodness. So don't become vulnerable. So these are two things: communication and don't react but respond, in which the tolerance will come. Third thing, why are we together? You should ask, why do people come together? What is happening in this world A man is coming to woman to enjoy the body of woman. A woman is coming to man to enjoy the body of man. It comes with some more facilities like money and all that, both sides. Basically, in this age of Kali, I develop a relation with certain person, that may be friend, that may be, some brotherhood, that may be husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever relationship I'm developing. The basic idea is what I can extract from the other person. Selfishness. Relationships don't sustain on selfishness. They have to be selfless. If you are really looking for a relationship, don't expect anything else. You should serve. Every living entity, every human being has this propensity to serve others. So be it your mother, be it your father, your brother, your wife, your husband, your children, you just serve. Serve them. To come to this level, you need to practice bhakti. Otherwise, it won't happen. Otherwise, it won't happen. So we should develop that service attitude. Husband, actually, if you see, if you go and hear the mantras, the pujari is chanting when the marriage ceremony is taking place. So the rituals and other things. So the priest, he will tell you. He will tell what mantras, how a wife should serve husband, and how a husband should serve wife. So don't try to exploit the other person's relationship, but try to serve them. Then your relationship will be long lasting. Mother Sita came to serve Ram, and Ram said, okay, you agree to serve me, I will protect you. That is my service towards you. For one Sita, Ram destroyed the entire dynasty of Ravana. For one Draupadi, Pandavas, they destroyed the Kauravas. Why? Because that is my duty as a husband. It's my service towards you. And wife is also doing her service towards husband. That's why these relationships are long lasting. So to come to the level of servitude, you need to practice bhakti. Why? Because soul, we have to understand, I'm not this body, I'm soul. My wife, she's not body, she's soul. We get attracted to bodies, very external. So the relationship will also be short-lived because bodies transform. A man gets attracted to a woman, beautiful woman, proposes her, they get married. And woman says, okay, man is handsome, rich, okay, get married. Money will go away, beauty will go away. Then what? Then what will you do? So we have to have this understanding, I'm soul and wife is also soul. So until unless we practice bhakti, we'll not be able to come to the level of servitude. Fourth element is related to servitude. So first is communication. Second is first is communication. Second, in communication, the later stage. In communication, there is reactions, there is responses. So don't react, but response. Okay. How can you do that? By the understanding that I am soul, my wife is also soul, my mother is also soul, my father is also soul, my kids are also soul. So understanding of the spirituality comes into picture. Without that, you cannot have relationship. The fourth element is, okay, I'm soul, my wife is soul, my father is soul, my mother is soul, my son is soul, my daughter is soul. Okay, we six are living in a family. Who is the center? Now you see the fan above you. How the fan is revolving, or rotating rather. It's rotating. There are 3 or 4 blades. It's rotating. But if you see, the blades are not connected to each other. They have no relationship with each other. Can you see that? They are connected with each other through a hub or a center axle in which everything is there, the machine, the power, everything is there. And that is how these 3 blades are, revolving, and the center axle is rotating. They're connected. And then that becomes a complete fan. If you remove that center part, the machine, the motor, the powerhouse, the axle, these blades will just are of no use. They're of no use. So similarly, I as a husband, I'm a soul. My wife is soul. My father is soul. My mother is soul. My son, my daughter. We are like blades of a fan. Who's the center? Center is Krishna. That's why even in Bible it says, a family who prays together stays together. So entire family has to come together at least twice in a day, morning and evening. Keeping Krishna in center, chant the holy names of Krishna, do some kirtan, read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam, hear some lecture, practice Krishna consciousness. Then what will happen? You will see, a husband will see a wife not only as a soul, but a devotee of Krishna. I am trying to be a devotee of Krishna. And Krishna says, if you want to be a devotee of mine, serve my devotees. Oh, my wife is a devotee. If I serve her, Krishna will be pleased. And wife thinks, my husband is a devotee. If I serve my husband, Krishna will be pleased with me. And gradually this will expand to mother and father, to kids, and then to neighbors, and to society, and the entire world. So until unless you bring Krishna in the center of your relationship, that relationship will not sustain. Even if it sustains, there's so much of problems. So it's not that once you bring Krishna in center, there will no problem. There will be problem, but you will know how to deal with it. The situation would be much, much better. So that is required for relationship. So for a successful relationship, to remove these emotional barriers, 4 things. First, before 4 things, now see, this is palm. So this is foundation. So we discuss a lot, at least 20 minutes we discuss only about foundation. We should understand I'm soul. We should understand I have my own karmic reactions. We should not expect too much from a partner. We should be real and not live in a hypothetical, imaginary, or illusory situation. So this is thing. And then first thing is communication. Open communication. Second thing, don't react, but respond. You may have to tolerate it. Please try to understand very small things. Husband, wife, they go to a party. In somehow or the other, some lady, she just tells the wife, what kind of dress you're wearing? It's looking so ugly. No, that is her perception. It's not the reality. And wife become upset. So the husband has to be ready. till next morning. Because when we sleep and wake up, then we are fresh. So he should be ready just to take on all the emotion turbulence which comes. Like we are in the flight, the turbulence, we have to accept it. You can't tell the clouds to go away. You have to accept it. Similarly, husband wife go to party, and one competitor of the husband, he just passes some ugly remark on husband. So he is afflicted. So wife should understand, yes, my husband has been insulted, and then that emotions will come out, and I should deal with it very quietly, very intelligently. So then that is how you respond. Okay. So that maturity should be there. Nowadays, people don't get married till the time they spend a lot of time with each other. So what are you spending time for? You become mature. That maturity should be there. And the third thing, I'm not this body, I'm soul. My wife is soul, my father is soul, everyone is soul, spiritual substance. So then I should practice spirituality and understand. And I am a servant, so I should serve them. That servant attitude is required. And the fourth, whose servant? Krishna's servant. So Krishna is in the center. So if Krishna is in the center, then I serve my wife, saying that she is devotee of Krishna, I must serve her. And if I'm a wife, I should serve my husband because he is devotee of Krishna. Or my father has become very old, but he is devotee of Krishna, I must serve him. My child is 3 years old, but my son is handicapped. 3 years old. Whole life I will have to take care, but he's a devotee. So I'll take care of him. So keep Krishna in center. Keep the teachings of Krishna. Keeping Krishna in center means chanting the holy names of Krishna together. Keeping the teachings of Krishna in center, based on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Serving the deities. Make a temple. Now I am staying. I have just come because I have another program in few minutes in the nearby building. So I have come to a place. I've come to devotees' house. Just 2 devotees, husband and wife. They stay. They have a beautiful temple. I'll show it to you. Let's see. 1 second. I will have to. You see. Beautiful Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Vitthal, Rukmani, Radha, Krishna, Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, then Gaur Nitai, then Lakshmi Narayan, then Laddu Gopal, and so many. So whole day is busy with Krishna. So if you keep Krishna in center and revolve your life, the complications will be there, but you know how to deal with it. The complications will be less. First of all, they'll be less, and even those less complications, you know how to deal with it. So these are 4 elements. Practice, keep practicing, and eventually you will attain that level where you will have relation with everyone actually, and a smooth relationship. Why? Because Krishna is coming as a center in your life, and Krishna is the center of entire creation. Let him take care. He is the decision maker of our life. He should be the person. We should make him as the head of our family. Krishna takes dual role in the house. He becomes the head of the family, and he also becomes the youngest child, and he always remains the youngest child. So you will have to, when you have a young child, kid, infant, if not infant, okay, 1 year old, 2 years old child, then you have to pay attention. So you need to serve Krishna. And when you want to take any decision, you go to the head of the family. So you go to Krishna. He plays dual role. And he'll bring you so much happiness in your life. That is how emotions will be dealt. It has to be government has this project connecting the rivers through the canals. Because some rivers there's flood, some rivers are dry. So through a canal, if you connect, the water can be sent to a dry area. So sometimes husband, wife, like two rivers. Sometimes there's husband, too much emotions, so like flooded with emotions. The wife has to be calm and the emotions will come. So all things will be taken care when you bring Krishna in the center. Hare Krishna.